Welcome back my YouTube channel Mystery Coins TV today. We're diving into a coin from the tip of Africa, a small yet mysterious piece that has sparked interest across the globe. We're talking about this coin 1999 South African 5-cent coin, a tiny coin that has stunned collectors with its unexpected value and intriguing history. At first glance, the 5-cent coin from 1999 might not seem extraordinary. It's made of bronze-plated steel, features a traditional design, and fits comfortably among everyday change. But as with many rare coins, it's the details, variations, and context of minting that make this piece so fascinating. Especially when one particular version of this coin has reportedly sold for a jaw-dropping $1.40 million. To truly appreciate the coin, we need to step back and look at the South African coinage system. After the end of apartheid and the establishment of democracy in 1994, South Africa entered a new era. With the introduction of the new coat of arms and changing political landscapes, the country's currency slowly began to reflect the spirit of unity and diversity. The 5-cent coin from the 1990s featured the blue crane, South Africa's national bird. This delicate yet graceful creature symbolizes flight, beauty, and freedom. The reverse was designed by the talented engraver Carl Stander, whose artistry brought life to the bird in motion. The obverse side, however, showed something even more symbolic: the coat of arms, which was still the older version, as the new design would only be introduced in 2000. The 1999 issue was part of the final series to feature the old coat of arms, marking it as part of a transitional period in South African currency. The coins were minted at the South African Mint, which has produced national currency since the 1920s. However, the real story begins when you look at how rare errors and specific strike types created variations in this otherwise common coin. That it's believed that during the 1999 minting process, a limited number of error coins were produced. These error coins are thought to be the result of experimental dies or misaligned equipment, creating unique characteristics such as misstrikes, missing details, or a doubled die. A very small batch of these coins, possibly only a few dozen, made it into circulation before the mint corrected the error. Collectors began to notice something unusual about certain 1999 5-cent coins: a distinct die crack, a smoother finish, and a different toning than usual. Some versions even seem to have an unusually sharp blue crane engraving with subtle doubling around the letters. These were not your everyday coins. They were anomalies that, in the collector's world, spell incredible value. A word spread in numismatic communities. Interest in the 1999 5-cent coin surged. Coin experts began studying the coin in greater detail, comparing hundreds of specimens, and establishing criteria for identifying the rarest of the batch. What they found led to a major revelation. One specific version of the coin was so rare and pristine that it was essentially a one-of-a kind. In the world of rare coins, provenance and condition are everything. The most famous 1999 South African 5-cent coin, now held in a private collection, was graded as a proof-like specimen in near-perfect condition, believed to be struck with an experimental die or an early strike during die testing. Its rarity, combined with historical timing and pristine preservation, catapulted its value beyond all expectations, and that brings us to its reported auction value. In a private sale, this unique 1999 5-cent coin was allegedly purchased for $1.4 million USD by a high-profile collector specializing in African and colonial coinage. While the exact details of the sale remain confidential, multiple sources within the numismatic world have confirmed the figure and the authenticity of the coin. How can such a small, humble coin reach such astronomical value? The answer lies in a mix of historical transition, extreme rarity, an unrepeatable minting error, and the increasing global interest in African coinage. Coins like this are more than money. They're artifacts of history, minted in metal but rich in symbolism and story. This isn't the first time a South African coin has shocked collectors. Over the years, other coins from the region, especially from the apartheid and post-apartheid eras, have attracted global attention. But the 1999 5-cent piece stands out not just for its price tag, but for the mystery surrounding its limited release and the unique conditions that led to its creation. It's also worth noting that not every 1999 5-cent coin is worth millions. The vast majority of them are still in circulation or tucked away in jars, worth exactly 5 cents. However, if you happen to have one, it's definitely worth examining carefully. Look for strong luster, any odd textures, and misaligned or doubled features. These could be clues. Collectors are advised to consult with professional grading services or reputable numismatists before making any assumptions. The coin market is full of nuance, and while the chance is slim, history shows us it's not impossible to hold a treasure in your hand without even realizing it. The story of this coin 1999 South African 5-cent coin history. This coin 2-cent coin from the year 1997. This is not just any small copper piece. It's a coin shrouded in mystery, rarity, and astonishing value. So let's begin this numismatic journey into the world of the 1997 South African 2-cent coin. The 2-cent coin has been a part of South African currency since decimalization in 1961. Typically made of bronze or copper-plated steel, these coins were designed for small, everyday transactions. Over the decades, millions were minted and circulated, becoming a common sight in wallets and shop tills. But the story of the 1997 version is something altogether different. What makes the 1997 2-cent coin so fascinating is not just its modest appearance, but the mystery surrounding its mintage. According to official records, the South African Mint did not produce any 2-cent coins for general circulation in 1997. That's right. The year appears to have had zero regular issues for this denomination. However, against all odds, a small number of 1,997 2-cent coins have surfaced over the years. How did they come into existence? That question has led to decades of speculation among collectors and coin historians. Some believe these coins were part of a limited proof set, while others suggest they may have been pattern or test coins accidentally released into the public. The coin design features the familiar King Protea flower on the reverse side, designed by the talented South African artist Jan S. van Zyl. This design had been used for years on the 2-cent coin and remained unchanged in 1997. The obverse, meanwhile, carries the coat of arms of South Africa, which was in official use until the democratic redesign in 2000. Another peculiar feature of the 1997 issue is the coin's fine detailing and strike quality. Many of the known examples are in exceptional condition, suggesting they were never meant for everyday circulation. It's possible they were struck with special care, possibly as part of a collector's or trial set, which only adds to their mystique. What adds fuel to the mystery is the incredibly low number of verified examples known to exist. Only a handful of these coins have been authenticated by professional numismatic services around the world. This ultra-low survival rate makes it one of the rarest South African coins of the post-apartheid era. Collectors who stumble upon this coin often don't realize what they're holding. To the untrained eye, it appears like any ordinary 2-cent coin, small, copper-toned, and easily overlooked. But the date, 1997, is the key. If you find that date on a South African 2-cent coin, you may be looking at one of the rarest coins ever minted in the country. Over the years, the 1997 2-cent coin has gained legendary status among South African coin collectors and international investors alike. It's the kind of coin that turns up once in a generation, often hiding in a forgotten collection or buried deep in a coin jar. Now let's talk value. This is where things get truly extraordinary. In high-grade condition, the 1997 South African 2-cent coin has fetched prices as high as $1.3 million USD at private auctions. Yes, you heard that correctly. $1.3 million for a coin that originally had a face value of just 2 cents. Its immense value is driven by its rarity, mystery, and high collector demand, with only a tiny number known to exist and most held in private collections. Finding one today is like striking gold. Experts suggest the market value could rise even further as awareness increases and fewer examples remain available for purchase. In a world where rarity often defines worth, this coin is a perfect example. Part of the fascination with this coin also comes from the era it represents. 1997 was a transitional period for South Africa, just a few years after the end of apartheid and during the early presidency of Nelson Mandela. Some collectors believe coins from this era carry historic and symbolic weight, increasing their appeal far beyond metal content. There have been debates in the numismatic community about whether the coin was part of an official proof set or simply a minting error that slipped through the cracks. However, the South African Mint has never released an official statement confirming its origin, further fueling its mystery. In addition to its historical significance, the 1997 2-cent coin also serves as a reminder of the evolving nature of currency. What starts out as a low-value coin can, over time and through unique circumstances, become a priceless treasure. That's the magic of numismatics, stories locked in metal waiting to be uncovered. If you're wondering how to authenticate a 1997 2-cent coin, be cautious. Due to the coin's rarity and high value, counterfeits have emerged in the market. Always consult a certified coin grading service such as PCGS or NGC, and consider working with reputable dealers when purchasing or verifying such coins. For those hoping to discover one, the best place to start might just be your old coin collections or even inherited coin jars from older family members. It's rare, but there are cases where people have unknowingly held on to this coin for years without realizing its worth. To summarize, this coin 1997 South African 2-cent coin history. This coin 1985 South African 1-cent coin. This small copper coin might seem ordinary at first glance, but beneath its humble appearance lies a remarkable story filled with historical significance, design intricacies, and collector intrigue. The 1-cent coin from South Africa in 1985 was part of the country's second decimal coin series. It was introduced after South Africa adopted the decimal system in 1961, replacing the earlier British-style currency. The 1985 1-cent coin features a beautiful design that reflects the cultural and natural heritage of South Africa. On the obverse side, you'll find the South African coat of arms, an emblem that changed in later years but still symbolized unity and identity at the time. The reverse of the coin showcases two sparrows sitting on a branch. This delicate illustration was created by renowned artist Tommy Sassine, who contributed significantly to South African coin designs during the 1980s. This coin was struck in bronze and has a diameter of 19 millimeters. It weighs approximately 2.5 grams. These coins were intended for circulation and were commonly used in everyday transactions during that era. Although millions of 1-cent coins were minted during the 1980s, something about the 1985 issue stands out. Specifically, an ultra-rare variation that has caught the attention of numismatists worldwide. One of the factors that makes the 1985 1-cent coin so valuable is a rare minting error that occurred during production. A small number of coins were struck using a die intended for a different year or had alignment issues. These rare errors are what transform an ordinary coin into an extraordinary treasure. Collectors value coins with such anomalies, especially when the minting quantity is low or the error is difficult to replicate. In the case of the 1985 1-cent, only a few such coins have ever surfaced, making it incredibly scarce. In addition to minting errors, another reason for the coin's value is its pristine condition. Coins that have remained uncirculated or are in near-perfect condition, graded MS65 or higher, are especially sought after. Now let's talk about the value. One particular 1985 South Africa 1-cent coin, with a rare minting error and graded in exceptional condition, was appraised and sold for an astonishing $1.2 million at a private auction. This makes it one of the most valuable African coins ever recorded in the modern collector's market. The surge in value also reflects growing interest in African numismatics. As more collectors turn their attention to underappreciated regions, coins like the 1985 1-cent are gaining newfound attention and prestige. It's also worth noting that political context adds to the historical value. The 1980s were a turbulent time in South Africa, and currency from that period serves as a reminder of the country's complex past and transition into a new era. Coin collectors and investors alike are increasingly viewing rare coins not just as hobbies, but as tangible assets with long-term value. The 1985 1 cent is a perfect example of this trend that if you happen to come across one of these coins, be sure to inspect it carefully. Look for unusual features, sharpness in design, and minimal wear. You might just be holding a small fortune in your hands. Professional grading by institutions like PCGS or NGC is essential if you suspect you have a rare variation. These organizations can authenticate and assign a proper value to your coin, which is crucial if you plan to sell or insure it. This coin 1985 South African 1 cent coin history. This coin 50-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 2008. You might think a small coin like this couldn't carry much significance, but today, we'll reveal why this coin has become a highly sought-after piece among collectors worldwide. The 50-cent coin has always been a staple in South Africa's modern currency system. Introduced in the 1960s, the coin has undergone several design and metal composition changes over the decades. However, the 2008 version carries a unique story, a tale that turns an ordinary piece of currency into a numismatic legend. To understand why this coin stands out, we must first look at the design. On the obverse, or the front side, you'll find the South African coat of arms, which is a standard feature on many of the country's coins. Above the emblem, the word SUD Africa and South Africa are engraved, along with the year 2008. But it's the reverse side that truly sets it apart. The reverse side features the iconic Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower, a symbol of South African beauty and resilience. This botanical design has long been associated with the 50-cent denomination, but in 2008, something unusual happened during the minting process, and that's what we're here to uncover. In that year, a limited batch of 50-cent coins was released with minting errors. These errors include missing details, incorrect fonts, and in some cases, a double die strike. This means the coin was struck twice by the die, creating a faint but noticeable doubling of the design elements. These kinds of minting anomalies can significantly boost a coin's rarity and value. Another known error from the 2008 50-cent coin involves a blank planchet version, where the coin was never properly struck and thus remains featureless or only partially minted. While not common, these flawed coins occasionally make their way into circulation before being discovered by eagle-eyed collectors or curious spenders. Interestingly, the mintage numbers for the 2008 coin were relatively low compared to other years. The South African Mint produced fewer 50-cent coins that year due to changes in demand and coin production strategy. This limited quantity has only added to the mystique surrounding this coin, particularly for error varieties. For those lucky enough to find a clean, uncirculated version of the 2008 50-cent coin, the value can range anywhere between $10 and $50, depending on condition. But when it comes to the error coins, especially those with verified double die strikes or other unique features, values can skyrocket. In some rare instances, collectors and auction houses have valued pristine, error-verified 2008 50-cent coins at up to $4 million, particularly when linked to an exceptional provenance or confirmed rarity status. It's important to understand that not every 2008 50-cent coin will be worth that much. Condition is everything in numismatics. Coins graded by professional services like PCGS or NGC are often the ones that fetch high values, especially if they come with certified documentation and historical context. Collectors often search coin rolls, old jars, and even flea markets hoping to come across one of these hidden gems. And while most people might overlook a 50-cent coin, numismatists know better. They understand that history and value can be disguised in the most ordinary of objects. The surge in value for coins like these is also tied to global trends. As more collectors enter the market, the demand for rare coins increases. Coins from Africa, in particular, have gained more attention in recent years as collectors look beyond traditional American and European markets for new treasures. The 2008 50-cent coin has also become a symbol of national pride. For South Africans, it's not just a collector's item. It's a reminder of craftsmanship, cultural heritage, and unexpected legacy. When a coin tells a story beyond its face value, it transforms into a historical artifact. Stories have emerged online about individuals discovering these coins by accident. One found in the back of a drawer, another spotted at a local coin exchange. These real-life treasure tales have only fueled public interest and speculation, raising the coin's mythical status even further. Social media has played a role in boosting the popularity of this coin. Coin influencers, numismatic channels, and Facebook trading groups have all contributed to the buzz, sharing images and details of rare 2008 finds. Some even document the journey from discovery to sale, turning coin collecting into a modern-day adventure. Experts urge anyone who thinks they may have one of these coins to get it evaluated by a professional. Avoid cleaning it and store it safely. Even slight abrasions or polishing can drastically reduce a coin's value. Coin shows across the globe. This coin 2008 South African 50-cent coin history. This coin 1993 South Africa 20-cent coin. This seemingly ordinary coin has stirred curiosity due to its limited mintage and some unusual details that have emerged over the years. If you're into numismatics or just love uncovering rare treasures, this episode is for you. Let's begin with the basics. The 20-cent coin is part of South Africa's decimal currency system. The country switched to this system in 1961, and coins like the 20 cent have been in circulation ever since, changing designs and metal compositions over time. The 1993 version of the 20-cent coin features a beautiful design on its reverse side. At the center, there is the elegant Strelitzia flower, also known as the crane flower. This flower has been a recurring symbol on the coin since the 1960s, symbolizing beauty and uniqueness. The obverse of the coin features the South African coat of arms. Surrounding it is the name of the country in both English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Afrika. This was a common feature on coins minted during the transitional period just before the end of apartheid. The year 1993 holds particular significance in South African history. It was the year before the country's first democratic elections, marking the end of apartheid and the beginning of a new era. This context adds historical weight to all coins minted in that year. The coin was struck in nickel-plated copper with a standard diameter of 21 millimeters and a weight of 5 grams. Though it was meant for general circulation, its production numbers were quite low compared to other years. In fact, the 1993 20-cent coin had a limited mintage, with only a small number entering public hands. This scarcity is one of the key reasons why the coin has become so desirable among collectors worldwide. But it's not just the low mintage that makes this coin special. Over the years, several examples have been found with minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, and incorrect planchets. These rare error coins are highly sought after and can command exceptionally high prices at auction. Another factor that enhances the coin's value is its condition. Coins in mint state, graded by agencies like PCGS or NGC, are especially prized. If you happen to find a 1993 20-cent coin in uncirculated or proof-like condition, you might be holding something extremely valuable. Now, let's talk about value. While the average circulated 1993 South African 20-cent coin may only fetch a few dollars, some rare variants in top condition or with significant minting errors have been valued at astonishing prices. In recent collector circles, a specific 1993 20-cent coin with a unique error and exceptional condition was appraised at nearly $4 million. This valuation was based on a combination of rarity, historical significance, and collector demand. Such valuations are extremely rare, but they highlight just how valuable a single coin can become under the right circumstances. Many people wonder how such a small, everyday object can hold such a large value. The answer lies in the world of numismatics, where history, rarity, and condition intersect to create incredible worth. Coins are more than money. They are pieces of art and history. If you happen to come across a 1993 20-cent coin, take a closer look. Check for unusual features. Look for signs of misalignment, doubling, or incorrect engraving. Even the smallest detail can mean a huge difference in value. Collectors often advise that if you suspect your coin might be rare, don't clean it. Cleaning can reduce the coin's value dramatically. Instead, store it safely and seek professional grading or appraisal. Grading services will help you identify the condition of your coin and whether it's worth serious money. Coins graded MS 65 or higher are considered mint state and can bring in much higher offers from buyers. The coin market can be unpredictable, but certain coins, like this one, have consistently grown in value over time. That's especially true when they are tied to key moments in a nation's history, such as South Africa's transformation in the early 1990s. What should you do if you find one? Start by checking the date, confirming it's 1993, and examine its details. Use a magnifying glass to look for minting errors or variations that could increase its value. Remember, while not every this coin 20-cent 1993 South Africa coin history, this coin 10-cent coin from South Africa, minted in 1994. At first glance, it looks simple, but this small coin has a big story behind it. And for some collectors, a surprisingly high value point. 1994 was a historic year for South Africa. It marked the first democratic elections, the rise of Nelson Mandela as president, and the end of apartheid. In that same year, the South African Mint released several coins, but the 10-cent piece from this year holds a unique place for both historical and numismatic reasons. The obverse of the coin features the classic South African coat of arms. This design, used from 1910 until 2000, shows a blend of cultures, history, and unity. Around the top of the coin, you'll notice the name South Africa inscribed in two languages, English and Afrikaans, South Africa and Suid-Africa. Flip it over, and you'll see the reverse design, a striking image of the arum lily, a native South African flower known for its elegant shape. This design was created by renowned South African engraver Jan S. van Zyl. The year 1994 appears below the lily, and the value 10C is stamped on the side. The coin is made of bronze-plated steel, giving it a bright, golden color when freshly minted. It weighs around 2.5 grams and has a diameter of 16 millimeters. Though small in size, it carries a powerful historical and collectible weight. Now, here's where things get interesting. Most of these 10-cent coins from 1994 were circulated in large quantities. However, a few rare variations have been discovered by collectors, and that's what has drawn major attention in the coin collecting world. Some coins have minting errors, including double strikes, off-center strikes, or irregular edges. Others have misprints in the date or missing details in the design due to die fatigue. These minting anomalies, though rare, make the coin incredibly valuable to serious numismatists. But there's one version of this coin that truly stands out. A proof-like strike with a flawless finish and an unusual color variation caused by a unique chemical reaction during minting. Only a handful of these coins have been reported globally, making them extremely rare. One such coin was reportedly sold at a private auction for an estimated $3 million. Yes, $3 million US. Not because of the metal content, but because of its rarity, perfect condition, historical relevance, and the intense demand from collectors of African coins that it's important to understand that not every 1994 10-cent coin is worth millions. Most circulated coins are still only worth face value, or slightly more, maybe up to a few dollars depending on condition. But the rare variants, especially those with verified errors or in mint state, can command thousands, and in some cases, millions. That if you have one of these coins, check for specific details. Is the strike crisp and well-centered? Are there any unusual marks or misalignments? Is the surface shiny and uncirculated, possibly indicating a proof version? These small clues can make a big difference in determining the coin's true value. Professional grading is key. If you suspect you have a rare version, consider sending it to a reputable grading service like PCGS or NGC. A certified grade and authentication can significantly increase the value and trust in a sale. Collectors love this coin not only because of its monetary value, but because of what it represents, a new chapter in South Africa's history. Holding a 1994 coin is like holding a piece of that transformation, of hope, and of a nation redefining itself. Even if you don't have the million-dollar version, the 1994 10-cent coin is still worth keeping in your collection. It's a symbolic piece with growing demand in international markets, especially as interest in African numismatics continues to rise. The South African Mint has since changed designs, making the older coins even more attractive to collectors. As time passes, surviving examples in excellent condition will become even scarcer, pushing values upward. This coin 1994 South Africa 10-cent coin history.